paradox. Welcome back to Ashes 101. My name is Jahlon, and today we're going to be doing an Ashes crash course on the differences between the PvP themes and the PvP flagging system in Ashes of Creation. While we're here, we're going to talk about the drop rates in the flagging system, and we're going to also touch upon negative XP and what that does to your character. So sit back, relax, and while you're doing that, remember to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I make new content. Like the video, and if you have any questions or concerns, leave those in the comments below. As you probably know by now, Ashes of Creation is a theme box game with open PvP rules. Unlike other games where you have to opt into the PvP, in Ashes of Creation, you are always eligible to be the victim of PvP. That mechanic is the flagging system. However, being a theme box game, Ashes of Creation has a wide variety of different PvP themes. From castle sieges to caravans, I've covered PvP themes in detail. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is a link to a 5-video playlist on all the different types of PvP you'll find in Ashes. For today, we're going to focus on the flagging states, the PvP themes, and how they're different. Starting with the flagging states, and with the help of our friends over at the community wiki, we have this wonderful image that shows how the different flagging states interact. Greens are non-combatants, purples are combatants, and reds are the corrupted. As you saw in this video, it is possible for a purple to attack a green. It is not the act of attacking a green that causes somebody to earn corruption. Only when you kill the green do you earn corruption. That is why you see Lex attack Steven, but not turn red. Steven did not die. Inside the flagging system, this is what most people are calling PvP. And while that is not wrong, it is also not the most correct answer. The flagging portion of PvP represents only half of the PvP systems available in Ashes. It will also determine what you drop when you die. When you die as a non-combatant, a couple of things happen. First, you gain negative experience. We don't know how much negative experience you're going to gain, but for this working example, we're going to say it's 10,000 XP. Now, before anybody begins to worry that there's de-leveling, there is no de-leveling in Ashes of Creation. This is not Final Fantasy XI or Lineage 2, where you can find yourself rapidly losing levels and unable to use your gear. The system is simply negative XP, and we're going to cover that in a little bit. But if you want to dig into a lot more detail, there is a link to the Death and Dying article I've written on Ashes 101 in the description below. So when you die, you earn negative XP, and your gear also takes a durability loss. You also drop a percentage of the raw materials, processed goods, monster drops, and caravan certificates that you have in your inventory. We do not know how much the percentage is. So for this example, we're going to say you're carrying 100 corn. As a non-combatant, if you drop 25% of your resources, you would drop 25 corn. Again, this is just an example. Finally, when you die as a non-combatant to somebody in the flagging system, whoever killed you gets corruption. Now, the same thing happens when you die as a combatant, except you don't take a full death penalty. Your death penalty is halved. So that 10,000 negative experience, that's only 5,000. That durability loss is halved. Instead of dropping that 25% of your corn, you'd only drop half of that, so you would drop 13. Now, where some of the confusion comes in is what happens when you die as a red. When you die as a red, you take a 300 to 400% normal death penalty. For this example, we are going to use 400%. So that XP penalty, that would become 40,000 negative experience. That durability loss, that would be times 4. Whatever that drop rate of the non-combatant, the corrupted would drop 4 times that amount. And the corrupted also have a RNG chance to drop gear. Each piece of gear is factored separately. While it is not likely you would have a full drop of all of your armor and all of your weapons when dealing with RNG, that of course is possible. While we're here, I think it's a good time to talk about negative experience. When you are in experience debt, you will retain your character level, but you're going to suffer from skill dampening, stat dampening, lower health, lower mana, lower gear proficiency, as well as you are going to have a reduced drop rate from monsters. So you do not want to accumulate large amounts of negative experience. The good news is, Steven has said that you can never drive yourself so low that there won't be a path to recovery. There will always be a way forward. There will always be a way back from a negative experience debt. Now, those were the rules for flagging. What about the rules for PvP themes? Things such as caravans, or castle sieges, or node sieges, guild wars, node wars. None of those things use the standard flagging system. I recently asked Steven what would happen if Jahlon from Paradox was fighting Steven from Intrepid Studios in a guild war. To each other, we would see each other as legal combatants, but to other people, we would appear green. So if a bystander decided to get involved, that bystander would have to engage one of us through the PvP flagging mechanic, but to each other, we would be engaging each other through the PvP theme mechanic. So what's the big deal about that? It means that in a war situation, there are no greens, which means there is no corruption. You can run around and kill all the war targets you want. You can kill all of the people from an enemy guild. You can kill all of the people from an enemy node. You can steal caravans all day, and you will never get corruption. But as soon as you stumble upon some lonely gatherer or lonely fisher just doing their thing and you decide to murder them, you will incur corruption. So the big takeaways from today: this isn't an opt-in game. You can always be killed. While you can always kill anyone you want, there is a penalty for doing so, and the corruption penalty is rather steep. The flagging systems do not apply when you are a combatant in a PvP theme. And if you aren't a legal participant in that PvP theme, you need to flag in and accept any penalties that come with it. Are we good? Are we clear? Do you have some more questions? I have no doubt that you probably have some more questions. Go ahead and ask those in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. If you want to get into a more two-way conversation, I do stream 4 times a week on Twitch, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I rotate my times, so there's usually a time-friendly spot for everybody. If you want to do a lot of deep dives, right over here, ashes101.com is going to be your place to go to get your Ashes education. If you're brand new to the community, welcome. You can feel free to reach out to me on Discord. I am Jahlon #0001. If you have not registered for Ashes of Creation yet, go ahead in the description below. There is a referral link. Go ahead and use that. I do get a kickback, but it also lets me know when I'm reaching new people and kind of lets me know where this video is getting to out in the ether and if I'm reaching new audiences. Until then, guys, you take care. Let me know if you like the new style of the video or if you want me to just go back to doing straight lecture with less B-roll. I will see you next time. I think next time we're talking about archetypes and classes. What are you still doing here? Nobody ever stays this long. This is the end screen. Well, since you're here, there's a couple other videos I think you should check out. And all those names? Those are my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do this without them. So, big thanks to them for all their support.